Right, guys. I just want to talk about the thing that's worrying me most at the moment, or concerning me most at the moment, living in Bulgaria. And it might not. Things may change and may not happen, but it's the euro, the introduction of the euro, which the lev is already pegged to the euro, but like, and a double whammy is that the the ECB, the European Central Bank, they want to bring in this CBDC, and that's a central bank digital currency, which is a programmable currency, and they can control what you spend, where you spend it, what you spend it on, how much you spend, and how much you save. They can actually put a time limit on 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 the currency, so you have to spend it like a mobile phone uh, contract where you lose your data. If you don't use the allotted data in a month, you lose it. It's like that, and they can do all these things, and they can just close your account if you do something that they don't like, or say something that you don't like. They don't like. So it's pretty scary stuff. The CBDC, and it's all being pushed by Christine Lagarde, who is a convicted criminal for financial um, crimes. Well, I don't know what she actually did. Something fraudulent. So she's a banker, and she wants to bring this in, and she keeps she likes going on about cryptos. Christine Lagarde, and I've said before, she's got a stash. I know she has, because the way she talks about it, she knows all the uses, the good uses of it, and everything else, and the threat, and all the rest of it. And I'm convinced she'll have a big stash somewhere. So that's what they do, these people. Anyway, so they want to bring this in October, right? But I don't know why they want to rush it through now. Maybe it's because they're getting worried about people finding out about what it really is, and things like that. Because they've been promoting it as, like, it's going to be great for you. I'll tell you what's great for me: the lev, and cash, and privacy, and everything like that. And so, if it does come in, and then Bulgaria are due to join in 2026, next year, at the beginning of the year, join the euro, like i.e. ditch the lev, which I think will be a disaster in itself. And if this CBDC comes in, now, this might derail the Bulgaria joining, because I don't think they'll be ready for the CBDC, and I'm not sure that they're ready for the euro. But when they find out that this is coming in and what it entails, especially the politicians, they might call a referendum. There's some people calling for a referendum anyway. One of the parties, which I agree with, and the polls say, like, 60% of the people are against joining the euro. It's not going to benefit the people. There's not one benefit. There was an article in this on this website, and it gave all the myths and the true and false and all that. But what it didn't do is tell you how great it was for you, i.e., me or anyone else who operates in the country as an individual. It may be good for banks, but even then, the reserves they have to keep will drop. They're quite high now. The actual reserves that the banks have to keep, and they'll also have to pay in as a state into the ECB as this insurance fund, like they bail Greece out, to bail countries out. Now, if it was that good, you wouldn't have to bail anybody out, would you? You wouldn't have to have this bailout fund, for failing states and whatever. Because they take it, what the euro does, it takes away some of the mechanisms where you can regulate your currency. The bonds and stuff like that, printing money, and all kinds of things like that. So they've bailed out Greece in the past, and so it's all. There's nothing great about it. If you look at, they gave all these pros and cons, and there wasn't any cons that I could see for the people. None at all. They said that you'd save money changing money in the banks, and you can change money here anyway, virtually free. And you'd only change money from lev to euro if you're going somewhere. So that it's no and loads of countries do that. It's not like this massive benefit where you do it every day, And most people have euro accounts. I've got both. I've got a euro account and a lev account, and with TransferWise or my Wise account, I've also got I can have even lev in there. That's a good account actually to swap money around if you need to, and you get like good rates as well with TransferWise. So you can do all that anyway. It's no massive huge benefit, and most people have they could do a dual system. Most people have euros knocking about anyway. A lot of property deals are done in euro here, so you could have where it's optional, where you can, and where it is anyway, you can use the euro here if you want to. You can accept the euro. I'm not quite sure about shops. I know in Albania and North Macedonia and even Montenegro, they adopted the euro unofficially. They're not even in the EU, but they just adopted it, and they're not in the eurozone either, so they get the benefits of not paying into this slush fund or not giving up their. That's another thing you've got to do as well. You've got to give up some of your foreign reserves as well to the ECB. So I can't see why it's benefiting anyone. But anyway, so that's what's coming along, which I wouldn't say I was ultra worried about it, because I can kind of get round everything because I've got bank accounts still in the UK, and I've also got other accounts in other places. I've got one in Gibraltar, and so you can kind of skate around it, and I'm not really on the radar here, but I might be if this comes in. Like the bank here, that might be a problem. the Bulgarian bank account could turn into a problem when you start having to declare all sorts of things, and whatever. So not that I do anything. I don't do anything that I shouldn't do. But you might have to declare certain things, and I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Even if you're not breaking any laws, you might break them in the future by not declaring, and then they start like coming after you or whatever, and that kind of stuff, But so in that case, I'd have to, if that starts happening, I would have to probably close that account. But then again, I don't know whether it can. I might need a bank account here for the residency, although they never asked me any bank account details or anything during that process, but they might do in future. So all these things might arise when they start like coming down on heavy-handed on people. But like, there's a lot of people here that will not be happy with this, and I don't think many people know about the implications and what it means, and a lot of people in other countries don't as well. You can tell that because people don't take any notice of this kind of thing until it comes along, and then they all start like realizing, and that's why people like me, you should listen to, and that this is where the information's coming from now, because they won't tell you, the media and that, they tell you, they paint it as a different thing, and they also tell you that it's that they won't take away cash, which that's the whole idea, that they will. And I think a lot of places are going cashless now, which is even being contested by people in certain countries like Sweden. A lot of things are just cashless. You can't pay cash, and I think a lot, even in America, like mortgage payments and that, you can't pay in cash. They won't take it. Well, and they should if it's legal tender, but they just don't. They just say no. So what can you do? And so all these things you've got to be aware of, and you've got to be try and get one step ahead, or maybe 2 or 3 steps ahead. So what can you do? Well, you can limit the amount you'd have in a bank account, and you can have. I'm thinking now of getting a bank account now, maybe in Serbia or Georgia, maybe. I was thinking North Macedonia, it's easy there, but I might just do the same thing then and end up in the same position, because they might go into the EU. So you're being back to square one. But Serbia, it's unlikely they'll go into the EU, but they might. So the other place is Georgia. And who knows where else you could open a bank account, I'd need one as well, which is easy to access in that. But anyway, because now you've got it. The banks are getting linked as well with the tax offices. Not that also affects me, but like that, these things are worth looking at, and especially the UK stuff with the capital gains tax. If I would advise people to look into that and to either start doing things that you can get around it, like buying sovereigns. That's a good way to get around capital gains tax. There's no capital gains tax on sovereigns because they're legal tender money. So that'd be a good way. And also maybe buying assets like in places like this, abroad, or maybe non-EU or whatever places, maybe Serbia could be an idea. It's difficult now in Turkey. Actually, they don't want people there anymore. They don't want people there. They've probably taken the view that, like, people are just using Turkey as a place of tax evasion and all that, and they don't benefit. So they're even throwing people out of Turkey. There's one website. I think the woman's Dutch, very entertaining, and her husband was American, and it was him that got thrown out of Turkey. Read him, if I remember the story, and they've gone to France now, which is, to me, is could be out of the frying pan and into another frying pan or the fire. So if I was them, I would have gone to, looking at the circumstances, I would have gone to Albania if I was them. And I did suggest that in the comments on the thing, because they're American friendly in Albania. And then there's the option, if you get probably near the border, probably a place called Korcha, I would look at. I would live there. It's a fantastic place, and it's near everything. Near Macedonia, it's near Greece. And it's near Italy, near everywhere. Montenegro, if you want to go there, Croatia. So that's where I would have gone. I don't know why they went to France. And why they chose France, don't know why. But anyway, but she's very entertaining. But they got thrown out basically, and they had a house and everything. Turkey got thrown out because you've also got to think about things like that here. Now, I would have to look, if I had to move from here, I would have to look at a place which has the agreement. These are all things to look out for, which I will look out for if I've ever got a skedaddle from here, which at the moment it's not looking like I would have to. And I could even go for the passport. I could go for the passport here, but but what I'd need then to look at is somewhere where you get the pension, but you also get the yearly increase. And in the case of Bulgaria, you do at the moment. Some places it's frozen. Like whatever you get on pension day number 1, that's it. You don't get the incremental increases as time goes by. And that may change here. It may change here. Now, the other thing I could do there is I'd have to go and get... I'd probably have to go and get go and live in the UK for at least in spirit, like getting an address, and probably get an address in either a marina or a park home, a permanent park home, which are like static caravans, basically. So that's what I might have to do. But there's a way around everything. But like, these are all things that you've got to consider. And that's a good one. If you're going to retire somewhere, make sure it's a country where you get the increase in the pension, if you're going to rely on your pension. And there are places where you don't get it. So that's a few little things that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. Nothing's changed here at the moment, but like this CBDC, it should worry everybody, really, not just me, who kind of I can navigate around these things by not being here. But it should worry people in the EU. It should, and it's not. This isn't applying at the moment. It doesn't apply to the UK, so that's another thing. But as soon as they bring it in, like night follows day, the UK will bring it in because they want to bring it in anyway. The CBDC. I remember Sunak. He announced that that's what they were going to do, and he said how great it was going to be for everyone. It's far from great. Even the banks there now, I mean, they're bad enough already. At least here they kind of still leave you alone, and they still have high street branches and now, so that they're accountable, and if they start annoying people here, they'll be kicking the doors in the bank. Mark my words. And so they behave themselves a little bit more here at the moment. So leave it at that for now. Cheers.